Night. What's going on, my friend? Good evening. How are you doing? Welcome back to another Micslmn stream. Late night things tonight. We are in Europe. We're gonna finally check out this Gatwick scenery from Nexus mods that Dave was telling us about, and then we're going to head down south, or southeast rather, to Zurich. FSDT team recently released their Zurich scenery. I believe it was Sunday night. So we're gonna go ahead and check that out. But this freeware Nexus mod for Gatwick is incredible. Shout out to Nexus mods. So I have to redo my settings in OBS. It sounds like I'm coming in a little faint, so let me get that turned up for you guys. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Alright, that sounds a little better. So yeah, we're at freeware Gatwick, Nexus mods. We're gonna head down over to Zurich. This is an incredible scenery, man, especially for freeware. They've done a really good job. We're at freeware Gatwick. Take a look at the bridge here. In fact, when it's dark out, I believe just after sunset, they've added the LED lighting, that navy blue LED lighting to the bridge. So that's pretty nice. Bunch of different details here as well, additional details on the apron. Got that little crane there. They removed the, for some reason, Microsoft and Zibo had an extra tower at Gatwick, so they removed that and corrected the original one. That looks good. But yeah, fresh. I'm gonna jump in the cockpit, get things going here. Quick flight for us tonight. It looks like it's starting to rain too, so let's go ahead and get batteries up. External power. Cruise supply. Get the IAD IRS set to nav 1, 2, and then 3. Get the cockpit and cabin temperatures adjusted accordingly. We'll get strobe to auto, nav on, external emergency exit lights to arm. No smoke in the auto. Let's see if the jetways work here. Let's go to ground services. To ground, jetway connection. Looking good. Baggage service. Looking good. Why not do catering? Why not? All of them are on the road. Let's get PackX started. Getting a bit of a frame hit. I don't know if it's the airport itself. Definitely getting frame hit. I've got overcast, but I have overcast at other airports and don't seem to have an issue, but there's something definitely dragging down my frames here at this airport. Great livery, by the way. This is the A320 Neo 8K version from the Mega Livery Pack. This is the best EasyJet livery I've seen, hands down, so far at least. Done extremely well. Let's get back in here and get down to business. We need to readjust certain things here. We're HPA because we're over in Europe today. QNH 1012. Let's verify that that is actually correct. 1018. Alright, it's a little off as usual. That looks good. Cockpit doors are open. That looks good. Get the transponder reset for now. 2200. Go. And actually, I need to get my radio panel up. SciTech radio panel, make things a little bit easier for us. There we go. That looks good. Let's go to init. Gatwick to Zurich, that looks correct. We actually did the flight planning on the sim menu there. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to do that. That's what we went ahead and did tonight, so we'll go ahead and throw that in there. Alternate tonight, so we'll be going to Frankfurt should we need an alternate. In our cost index, how is Frankfurt not in the database? That doesn't make any sense. Try that again. There we go. Our alternate tonight is Frankfurt, and our CI is 40. Cost index. Pretty quick flight, my friends. Roughly 300 or so nautical miles. Sorry, 400 and so nautical miles. So we're only going up to... Well, that's interesting. It wants us starting out at 230, but then 370 after Xmab. I'm not sure if in Europe that's because of certain altitude restrictions required. But let me just take a look here at the flight plan. Yeah, my friends, we're just gonna go straight to 37 tonight. We file in PACX. Europe will always trick you up, man. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. We're gonna do 370 tonight. We'll just go straight up. IRS inits, align on ref. That looks good. Let's see what else. Zero fuel weight. We already did the fuel at the sim menu, so we'll go ahead and put that in there, and we already did the weights on the sim menu, so we'll go ahead and put that in there as well. 6.5 on the fuel. This new fuel planning logic was instituted about 1 or 2 dev releases ago for the fly-by-wire mod, but it's not quite accurate, so we don't use it. We'll just go ahead and manually put in the blocked fuel. What else, my friends? Alright, so 26 left is our departure tonight. Take a look at the official flight plan and look at the waypoints. Kilo West 06, 08, 11, 17, 20, 25. Then we join Bogna, Benbow, Hawk, Xmab, Vuel, Impacts, Resmi, Turpy, Hoagie, Fusca, Wurzu, Gelta. And I'm just cross-checking this on my flight plan. Melco, Mang, Pylon, Tirso, Pivot, BLM, CH677, Hippo. So, we need to plan. What's the weather like at Zurich tonight? 170 at 18. I think we said we were taking runway 14, so let's go with that. ILS 14. BLM2G is correct. Air transition here. Take a look at Navigraph. That's 1-4, right? That's interesting. There's a couple different ways to fly this approach. Kind of looks like a circle to land almost. Kind of overfly the airport. Come back around and then into runway 14. That's interesting. And then that transition is Amiki. Mickey is way out there though, so that doesn't make sense. Oh, we'll go ahead and insert that. And once the ADRSs are aligned, we can kind of get a picture as to what our routing looks like. Probe window heats for now. Master switch on the APU can come up. Get the flight directors, VORs on both sides. Constraints. Flight directors, VORs on both sides. Constraints. Top altitude tonight on this SID. Looks like 6,000, so we'll get 6,000 dialed in here. It's going to be a managed climb. What else do we need to do? Flap is open on the APU. We'll go ahead and get it started. We are on VATSIM. It's pretty late in Europe. I think it's like 2, 3 in the morning. So there's no way we're getting any controllers or have to worry about traffic or anything like that, but we'll stay on Unicom. The brightness is turned up. We got 1 minute to the irises align, and then we can step to the flight plan and get out of here. But yeah, man, Nexus mods, freeware scenery, go ahead and pick it up. I'll drop the link in the description. Hands down, one of the best freeware mods for this sim that I've seen to date. Really well done. That's the ADRSs are aligned. Let's go to plan mode and step through this bad boy. Taking out of 2-6, taking off out of 2-6 right. Head southeast on the departure. Over to Zurich. Yeah, it's a funky transition. Let's see if we can clear that. Nah, it's not gonna let me. That's a sim limitation, unfortunately. So we'll just have to manually do that ourselves once we get closer. So we'll leave that for now. I like it, for the most part, at least. APU is available. We'll get APU bleed on, and we'll get the cockpit door closed up. Fuel pump's coming on. We'll lock the cockpit door. We'll get the transponder on. T8. And of course, pushback is not available. Yeah, I don't know why at certain airports the pushback's available and at some it's not. Certainly strange, but so we do have our nifty freeware tool. We'll go ahead and use pushback helper. Alright, that's the truck beacon coming on. Alright, pre-flight checklist. The windows and doors closed and locked. ADRS's nav lights as required. Signs on auto. Fuel quantity 6.5 thousand pounds. That looks good. Beacon is on. Takeoff data. We've got to set this. What is our length here? What runway length? We're 8,000, so we'll flex to 40. How about that? And then we'll go 1 up 0.1. We disconnect the parking brake here and get the engine 1 fired up. We'll continue that performance page in a second. That looks good. Number 1 coming alive. Gatwick traffic, EasyJet A320 Neo. Push and start. From stand 567. Simlock TV. Nexus Mod is, I guess, a mod website where there's a whole host of different things there, man. Fortunately, you do need to sign up for an account. It's free. There's a free and paid version. I didn't pay for this, but check out that website there. But it's a site that has a couple of different freeware products, and not just flight sim. They got a bunch of different things as well. Steer us left here. Number 1's available. Number 2 coming alive. We'll stop right here. Parking brake set. It's our transition. I'm trying to find that 6,000. We're in Europe, so that is definitely different than the States. We'll change that. Redo the V speeds. Looks good. Listen to those engines spool up, man. Been spending a lot of time on Xplane. Got 200 gigabytes of ortho download. Yeah, man, I've got you beat with that. Unfortunately, not now. I've got all that's been gone. I don't mess with Xplane too much these days. But yeah, I had close to 1.5 terabytes worth of ortho. I had the entire US, some parts of Canada and the Caribbean. Like, once I started, I was hooked, man. It's like I can't fly Xplane without ortho. So anywhere that, you know, I was going to be flying an Xplane had to have ortho. 2 good starts. APU bleed and APU can go. We'll get the flaps to 1. That looks good. Auto brake on a max. Terrain on ND. Spoilers are armed. Predictive wind shear and weather radar on auto. Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, it fills up fast, man. It fills up fast. You gotta watch out for that. Make sure you've got adequate space. don't know why the chat box was all the way up there. Apologize for that. All right, my friends, let's go. Parking brake is released. Get some. Eventually, we'll get the entire planet. There are people that do have it, man. There are people that do have a ton of ortho for Xplane. Like I said, about 1.5 terabytes on my side. Alright, we're taxiing out of Gatwick. Give you guys an indication for those that are not familiar with Gatwick. So we're coming out of the ramp here. Not sure why that looks funky, but we'll be coming out Lima Kilo, and we're going to be departing out of 26 left tonight. Gatwick traffic, EasyJet Airbus A320 Neo, taxi to runway 26 left. Again, no one really on, but definitely want to always make sure we're doing our radio calls. Taxi light coming on. I'm not here often, so I think you go under this bridge. No. I think we want to go left. They have really improved the sounds to this this Neo mod. That was quite a stream the other night, Simlog. You were all over the place, bro. How is, it looked relatively nice down there. I still haven't been to South America in the sim. Definitely want to get there myself, but it looked pretty cool. Appreciate y'all tuning in, my friends. I know it's pretty late for most of you. Here on the West Coast, it's only about 6:45 to 7 p.m. But I do appreciate those of you that are in parts of the world where it's pretty late. Appreciate you tuning in. Trying to find my way around Gatwick here. I don't come here often, and these terminal charts here on Navigraph seem a bit weird. So I'm pretty sure 26 left is this way. I've been to Toliss. I've been using the Toliss BSS sound pack. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. The Toliss is really nice with the sound pack. Fly-by-wire is getting close. Every time I download an update, it blows me away of how much the sounds have improved. Alright, my friends, we're finding our way. Let's get the landing lights on. The RNAV into Costa Rica was crazy. I saw. Almost didn't make it. Yeah, no, that was a sporty approach, man. All right, let's see if we can make this thing rock and roll. TARA on the transponder. Let's get the strobes on. Takeoff config. Cabin crew.
Cabin crew sees for takeoff.
Turn offs. Taxi lights. Oh, why not get the wing lights as well? Gateway traffic, EasyJet A320 Neo, departing runway 26 left, Bog, November 1 X-ray departure, Gateway traffic. That's our radio calls. Again, no one on VATSIM here tonight. Pretty late out over in Europe, but just want to be Be a nice person to make sure we're doing our radio calls adequately. 26 left is clear on the approach and clear down the runway. Let's get the packs off departure tonight. And it'll be stereo cockpit for us. I will catch you guys in the chat once we're airborne. Start the clock. Everything looks good on my end. Spoiler up. Some pressure on the north forward pressure on the side stick there. Everything in the green. Everything looks good. Let's roll. That's thrust set Madflex 40 SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. That's 80 knots. Neutral by 100. There we go. And that's V1. Rotate. That's positive rate. Gears coming up. Excellent. Into the clouds. Alright, that's nav. And let's go to climb. Thrust climb, alt blue, 6,000 selected. Pack's coming back on. We're in the suit. This sim loves to exaggerate the icing, so we're going to go ahead and get the wing and engine anti-ice on. We'll clean her up already. Pack 2 coming on. We'll open climb it out of here. Let's go to 10,000 open. That's 250. It's hitting the speed restriction and abiding by it correctly. We're clean here, so let's go ahead and get the turn-offs, taxi lights, and the spoilers. After takeoff checklist, gears up, no lights, flaps retracted. Spoilers are disarmed. Again, we got 10,000, open climb, alt blue. All our lights are required. We've got plus 18 on the outside air temperature, so technically we should be good, but again, this sim is a little bit finicky with the anti-ice or with the icing effect, so we're gonna leave it on for now. Look how we're clearing through these clouds. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna keep hand flying her for a bit. I love to hand fly this aircraft just to get the feel for it. Start that left-hand turn. Is my overlay broken? It looks broken. Is it telling you the right phase of flight and counting the altitude and all that stuff correctly? Continue that turn. That is absolutely stunning. The sim never ceases to amaze me on how visually outstanding it is. Alright, we're going to 3.7 tonight. It's 3.7 open climb. Go ahead and autopilot 1 can come on. Simlog. That's weird, man. The overlay looks incorrect. Let me know if you guys are seeing it properly on your end. Get the anti-ice off. You heard over through 10,000. Tommy cabin. All the lights are off. Late night streams, my friends. We're heading over to FS Dream Team Zurich. We just left Nexus mod Gatwick. Definitely check that out. I did throw the link to the scenery in the chat. Also check out the Discord. Dave linked it in there. Speaking of Dave, what's going on, my friend? Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Yes, sir. We are flying tonight. Late night stream. What's not compatible with Vulcan Simlog? Oh, the Toliss sound pack still? They still didn't get that straightened out? That's interesting. That is interesting. How is Vulcan doing these days? I haven't been on Xplane in a while. Oh, Xenviro. Yeah. I never picked it up because not only, you know, from a Vulcan standpoint, but I'm running a 4K monitor over here. And if I'm not mistaken, at least when I was looking at it last year, Xenviro was not compatible with 4K, so not a 4K monitor, 4K television, so that's why I never picked it up. What livery are we rocking tonight? We are rocking, my friend, let's get the sounds down first of all. We are rocking tonight, my friend, the EasyJet Neo livery. Heck of a livery. This is the best EasyJet livery I've seen so far in the sim. This is from the Mega Pack, so you can go ahead and download it there if I'm not mistaken. I mean, look at the details on this bad boy. It is stunning. I might argue this is the best livery for the A320 I've seen in this sim. I think this this guy makes a bunch of other ones as well. I can't remember his name. But I downloaded his American. I think he has a Hawaiian. He has a bunch. British Airways. Look quite good. It's in the Mega Pack. Yeah. Simlog, I'm still looking for the best weather engine for Xplane. It offers the most realism without sacrificing performance. I'm going to try a new freeware volumetric cloud plugin. Yeah, that's an interesting one, Simlog. For Xplane, I've always struggled with weather. It was always about the weather for me that I just couldn't compare it to Prepare 3D. And I know ActiveSky eventually released their weather engine, and I used it, ActiveSky for XP, but it just wasn't as good as and consistent as their version in P3D. So weather has really been something Xplane has struggled with, to be honest, for years. I know there's a bunch of different things, bunch of different plugins and stuff out there, and even texture wise, like the clouds, the volumetric plugin that you're talking about, I've rocked it for Xplane. To me, hands down, that's the best balance between performance and looks. that I've been able to manage out of Xplane. There's an AK version of it. Actually, it looks like the AK one. Did you download the AK pack? Yeah, this is the AK one. I downloaded this directly from the AK pack. The default clouds kill your frames the second you turn on anti-aliasing. Is that an Xplane you're talking about specifically? And I could see that for sure. Yeah, it'll definitely kill your performance. Let's see what's going on in here. Or through 25,000. Let's get these brightnesses up here. How did you like my suggestion for Gatwick? You missed the beginning, man. It is stunning. I love it. I was having a bit of a performance hit. Don't know if it was the airport itself. I think it was because I'm okay now. Don't know if you've noticed that on your end. Other than that, it was gorgeous, man. It's the best freeware airport I've seen to date for this sim. Loved it. I'm gonna get Xplane looking on par with MFS 2020. It's my mission. Good luck with that, my friend. You'll have a, oh my gosh, I'm over here with the QNH not even reset to standard. You'll have a much better time than getting prepared to look like that for sure, but it's no easy task, my friend. No, I did say on Disco that part that it's heavy on, it's a heavy mod. Okay, I think I recall you saying that. You're right. So okay, it was the scenery itself. Well, if that's the case, I'm putting my stuff back on Ultra. Well, at least the clouds, I had that on Ultra. Although a lot of people say there isn't a difference between a lot of these settings, Ultra and high end, especially the clouds, but I like it. All right, like I said, this is a quick flight, so I am making sure I'm monitoring stuff over here on my end. Our first restriction is Basel Mulhouse below 200. Let me hop in the cockpit here, see what we got. Basel Mulhouse, BLM. Okay, so we can do a VNAV down. The aircraft does have the speed restrictions in here. We're probably going to vector ourselves down because if you go into plan mode, it's kind of funky here. It wants to take us out to Amiki and then back over the airport. And unfortunately, as usual with this, until fly-by-wire finds a way to remove the forced restrictions like our working title friends did, there's no way to delete it. See that? So I'm trying to clear it. Nothing. It forces the restriction. No dice. So we'll have to work with it. We'll figure it out. We always do. But so far, so good. We're looking good. The difference from ultra to high end is not worth it. It's not worth the hit. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I run clouds. I think that's about it. bush and tree. I think I have on high end. Was it just me, or did you guys see, did they sneak another update this week? So I did a flight, not last night, the night before. By the way, New Orleans, there is a MSY, New Orleans freeware scenery. I should have dropped this in the Discord, but I forgot to. It is, I don't want to say incredible, but it makes flying to New Orleans worth it. Whereas it was just so off in the default mod, I'm sorry, in the default version, that it didn't even make sense. But I did a flight from Fort Lauderdale to New Orleans. If I can find it. Cities, countries, USA. You know what? Let's just hit the search. There we go. Louis Armstrong International. For those that find themselves flying in the States, check that out. Yeah, I installed that MSY freeware. Okay, cool. Cool. So I did do a flight there. There is, I installed this a while ago, but there is a Dulles version and a Reagan version as well. I've done those. Put it in the disco for sure. You know how much I bitch about New Orleans and Charlotte. Looks like crap. Yeah. Let me drop it in Discord. Just drop it into Discord. Alright, got it in the Discord. If you guys need links, go ahead and check it out there. I will be back again with another stream as usual on Friday. I know we didn't do the FNO last Friday, but we will be back this Friday for the Friday night ops. So I think Friday's featured airport is Dulles. So we will we'll fly to the modded freeware Dulles. Hopefully it's good enough to fly to VATSIM on, but definitely looking for suggestions on where to fly from. So if you guys got any suggestions for Friday's VATSIM FNO to Dulles, looking for a departure airport, can't be too far though. I want it to be within 2 hours. Let me know. I bought the Legacy RG and Xplane. That thing is a beast. Fastest single engine pistol I've ever flown. I heard that's really good. I think Stalker was telling me about it. It's really, really good. Now we need a Boston Logan, since I can't moan about Gatwick or New Orleans anymore. We do need a Boston Logan. But Tampa's behind a little bit on their Boston and Vegas, two of the iconic US airports that I definitely want to see ported over. Thing climbs out at 140 knots airline speeds. Really? That's crazy. Is the plane to get in real life if you want to get somewhere fast, for sure. I love the TBM. Chuck's fuel though, yeah. If I had to buy a personal plane, prop wise, obviously I would love a jet, but you know, a prop plane that I can fly, a turboprop fly trips on, do weekend trips with, definitely would be the TBM. I love the TBM. 23 gallons per hour, that's insane. It's wild. I don't know what's going on with the chat. Don't know why it's not populating for you guys. Let me see what I can do. TBM turboprop. Cheaper to fly commercial. Yep. I was like, get a Citrus Vision jet. Yeah, that's crazy, man. 26 gallons an hour. That's wild. I don't need to get anywhere that fast. Or like you said, fly commercial. I think it just spammed the entire chat window on you guys. Apologies. I'll get that cleaned up. There we go. For FNO fly from Nolans. That's what I was thinking too, Dave. I think we'll do that. So on Friday, for Friday's FNO, we will fly from the Freeware Nolans to Dulles. You can get it down to 11 gallons an hour when you adjust mixture next RPM at cruise. Yeah, that makes sense. That's still a lot of fuel to be burning, man. How are we looking timing wise? We look good. We've got a little bit to go till top of descent. Have we leveled off yet? Yes, 370. Look at that seatbelt sign off. Everything else in here looks bueno. Fuel burn looks good. I love that the aircraft is counting down the distance to go now. Awesome, awesome. Austin Meyer built a Landcare Evolution, like in real life. Which is smaller than a TBM. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, Dave, I think what I'll do, I'm not streaming tomorrow. So what I'll do tomorrow is go to Dulles and make sure the AFCAD matches the charts so we don't have any issues during the FNO on Friday. But it should be fine. I think it's all right. Do you fly in real life? Yes, I do. PPL 172s. Haven't flown anything bigger than that. But plan to. Definitely want to get a multi-engine rated. For sure. And make sure Nolans does also. Nolans does match the AFCAD. Like I said, I flew there Monday night from Fort Lauderdale and it all matched up. So no issues there. So that's what we'll do. That's the plan, my friends, for Friday. We'll do Nolans to Washington, Dulles, and should be pretty decent too. We should be able to get out, no issues. Most of the people going to Dulles will be flying from the Northeast, like Boston or LaGuardia or Kennedy, maybe even Chicago. So from a departure standpoint, shouldn't be too busy. We should be able to get out just fine. Dulles is also a big enough airport that we shouldn't expect too many delays or even holds, but we'll see. I don't know, I could easily afford flying lessons. I just haven't pulled the trigger. Man, I love it, man. If you're into aviation and not, you know, beyond the sim, I think it's well worth the investment. There's nothing like real world flying. It's tough now with COVID and stuff. If you don't own your own plane, and you know, how comfortable are you getting in to planes that have been rented out, or if you're not able to fly solo, you know, flying with a instructor. So you've got to weigh that stuff too, but other than that, you can't beat it. I don't know why the chat window is bugging out. Owning a plane is definitely not for anyone. Owning a plane is definitely not for anyone. What do you mean it's not for anyone? Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's there's a lot that goes into that for sure. Chat font size is way too big. Yeah, Dave, it's not supposed to look like that, and it's not supposed to spam the entire chat, right? It's supposed to have different intervals of where it pops up. I'm not sure. It's being very temperamental today, so we'll just leave it off. Aviation's like boating, yeah. When you look at you know, aircraft storage fees, the maintenance to keep an aircraft up to date and certified, there's a lot of money involved there. But I told you guys how much I love Sim Toolkit Pro, man. US is pretty busy. Well, you know, it's only, again, here on the West Coast, it's only just after 7 p.m., but there's a lot of people on in the East, considering it's after 10 o'clock at night. That's cool. This is us here, making our way to Zurich. Top of descent coming up shortly. I don't see, so there is someone on the ground, it looks like. One person on the ground, not sure where they're going. Air France 1276. Other than that, there's no one else coming in, so we're looking good there. On the arrival, like I said, we're going to be crossing Basel. Low 200. 677 above 12, Gipple above 7. And then it gets funky. There's some terrain here and whatnot, which is kind of why you've got almost a circle to land. And then the McDo is drawing the other transition way out here, which we can't delete, unfortunately. So we'll have to, like, after Gipple, manually bring ourselves into Zurich. We'll go nav mode or heading mode, and we'll work it out. But yeah, approaching top of descent soon. And let's pull some weather from the new feature here in the McDo. Even a cheap Cessna is several thousands a year for sure, man. That is true. Happiest days when you bought the plane. Happiest days when you when you sell it. Yep, I'm about to pay off my motorcycle that I don't ride anymore. How come you don't ride it? Can't wait to sell that thing. Yeah, it's nothing like paying for something you don't use anymore. You can see that. Well, it's not like you can go out. Yeah, that's true. That is true, unfortunately. All right, what am I doing? ATC com, nope, McDo menu. I'll go to ATSU. AOC menu. Oh, I didn't switch the screen, sorry guys. It'd help if you saw what I was doing. We will go to weather request and we'll get METAR. I don't need both, but it doesn't appear there is a way to clear this. We left Gatwick already. I'm not interested in the weather there, but anyways, we'll go ahead and get send. Now we should get company message there. Point is, flying costs money, and my fear is that if I buy a plane, I'll be discouraged in flying out because I'll be burning money every hour it's in the air. So, Siblog, man, I think what you should focus on probably is just getting the license and approaching it from a rental standpoint. Rentals is not too bad. It's not like renting a car. It's a slightly more expensive, especially when you consider the wet rate, but I'd start there, man. Don't even think about owning the plane yet. You know, get the license, get into kind of a you know, rental state. Rent when you need one, when you need to take trips, and go from there. That's what I do. I don't, not anytime soon at least, intend on owning an aircraft outright. Received messages, METAR. So at Zurich, we can expect winds 190 at 5, QNH 1025, 3 degrees Celsius, Gatwick. Is there nothing else? That's it. That's the end of the message. 1905, QNH 1025, no significant weather. Looks good. And 3 degrees Celsius. So 319025 and 1025. Let's get that set up. It's our QNH. I have no desire to ever make flying a career. Retiring is the way until you want to take a trip, but the plane you want is already booked. If you're taking a trip that you're going to be doing flying in, I would hope you plan that well in advance. Obviously, certain aspects of the flight, like, you know, weather planning and all that good stuff, you can't do too far in advance, but no, for me, I definitely get that booked out as far in advance as possible. Transition at Zurich. Let's see. Assigned by ATC. All right, we don't have any ATC. What does let's see. Runway elevation HPA 50. Transition altitude 7,000 feet. Let's go ahead and set that in. And our decision height, we're taking 1-4 tonight. Oh, 200 feet, Cat 1. It'll be a flaps full landing. Cool beans. Oh, should we have started descending already? Where are we? Below 200 at BLM. No, we're fine. I don't know where this is getting 230 from. Oh, that might have been the restriction there. Yeah, we're fine. We're good to go for a little while. Don't forget, it can call up both METAR and ATIS. Oh, that's a good point. So even though VATSIM is not on, can we get the real world ATIS? I mean, I don't think there's any aircraft flying at Zurich right now. But it's an international airport, so it should have some information, right? Let's go to ATIS. Go ahead and send that off. That's our company message. Received. Here's our ATIS. Yeah, it's not available. I wouldn't think there'd be an ATIS this late or this early, right? 7. What is it? 3:20 a.m. Nah, there's no flights going in and out of Zurich, especially during COVID. So yeah, there's no ATIS. But yeah, based on the weather and the winds, we can expect runway 14 or 16, but I picked 14, so that's what we'll stick with. Right, looking good. I know I don't get to Europe much. I know some of you have asked that I do some Euro flights, so we'll try to do one every now and again. Especially if I'm flying during the week late like this, we'll definitely probably try to do European flights. Or maybe on the weekends as well. Fridays are reserved for my F&O slot, man. I gotta do those F&Os. I love them. In fact, that's how I first got into VATSIM. It was, I forgot whose video I was watching, man. It was years ago, though, and they were doing an F&O, and it was just so fun. So I joined VATSIM. You know, started doing late night flights on the East Coast, especially out of like Kennedy and stuff. Had folks like Jeremy Peterson that controls up in the New York Vortac, a couple of those other guys, and slowly learned. And the first event I did on VATSIM was an F&O, Friday Night Ops, and since then I've tried to do one every Friday. It's awesome. I love it. It gets frustrating at times, especially before we had the new VATSIM voice codec, you know, where things were a little bit, you know, a little bit more difficult. You had folks talking over each other and all that stuff, and holds being issued because the event airports were just too crazy. But VATSIM has come a long way in terms of the technology that they use, and it really makes these events a lot more manageable. So they're fun now. I love flying them. In the spring, we'll definitely do a across the pond and we'll stream it. So that should be fun. Try changing the source. Okay. ATC, no, do menu options. I thought I had the source set to... Yeah, I've got it on, oh, FAA. Well, that wouldn't give you Europe. That's why. So they've only managed to get an FAA link in here. So with VATSIM offline, if we were flying in the States, we would get an ATIS, but yeah, that's not going to come up. Cool, cool, cool. Still looking good in terms of the descent planning. Gorgeous European skies. I love the way this sim looks, man. It's so incredible. Once we get, try IVAO, once we get some Hayward type aircrafts, it is going to be hands down the best sim out there. No doubt about it. Give it a year from now, my friends. I'm telling you, mark my words. All right. No, what am I doing? McDo menu, options, ATIS source. Green means it's active. Right. So we got FAA. We'll try IVAO, but we're assuming IVAO is on in Zurich, and I don't think so, but we'll go ahead and run it. ATC comms, no big do menu. ATSU. AOC menu, weather requests. Nope. It's not what I want. ATIS. Send. We will see what it comes back with, Dave. But I doubt it's going to come back with anything. So yeah, that is my plug for VATSIM, guys. Get on it, man. It's really makes the flying experience that much more fun. And not even just VATSIM, just a network in general. IVAO is fine. I've never been on IVAO. Some folks say it's better, but... And then you've got Pilot Edge, but they only control certain areas of the country. For the US, that is. It's mostly West Coast, extended out to, I think, like Denver. But that's about it. Received messages, ATIS. Yeah, not available. Not there, my friend. It's alright, man. It's late. There's no way an ATIS is going to be up anywhere for Zurich. Let me change it back before I forget. Actually, we're doing an F&O Friday, so I better put it on VATSIM in case their ATIS doesn't sync up with the other one. Alright, cool beans. I tried the CRJ first time in Xplane. I didn't like it. No auto throttle. Everything about the plane is just so foreign than what I'm used to. Yeah, if you don't fly planes like that often, it's quite a learning curve. But I love the CRJ. It's quite fun. In terms of most logical cockpit, Airbus is the best. Yeah, I know a lot of folks feel like Airbus is complicated and they love Boeing over it, but man, the Airbus is my favorite aircraft. It's so straightforward and easy to fly. Pilot Edge pretty much is call only. What do you mean by call only, Dave? You mean you've got to call up for service and get someone to jump on, or what? Oh, Cal only. Yeah, it's mostly just California for sure. I think that's kind of where it started, and it's paid. So, those that are not interested in doing that kind of stuff, paying for a service like that, it's not beneficial. But I will tell you, from a professional standpoint, based on my real world flying, they are hands down the best. VATSIM's great, but the controllers on there for Pilot Edge are exceptional, and I think they use a better software than VATSIM. It sounds a lot better. It really sounds like real world. But yeah, in terms of coverage, man, and just events and being able to have fun while still sticking to realism, VATSIM's the way to go. I love it. Yeah, you know what it is, Simlock? Pilot Edge is really for those folks that, love flying GA and those kind of flights and want to continue working on kind of their, flying in areas that they fly in real life as realistic as it gets from a ATC controller standpoint. A lot of folks that do flying around California and whatnot love Pilot Edge. They prefer that more than VATSIM. And then VATSIM has this negative stigma around, it being a bunch of kids and coming on and ruining stuff. And, you got folks spawning on runways when they shouldn't be, or landing without acknowledging or stating that they're landing. Pilot Edge is just a lot more professional in that terms. And, lately, to be honest, these days I haven't seen many issues on VATSIM. They've done a lot of cleanup. A couple of years ago, and back in the days, you had a lot of immaturity on VATSIM and issues like that, but I rarely see that these days. Yep, Pilot Edge is geared towards GPL students, exactly. And the Pilot Edge ATCs are real life ATCs. That's true. There's some VATSIM controls that control in real life as well. So, all right, I think I'm going to slowly start down here, my friends. Let's go down to 200. I'll be open descent. Volume back up. A lot of times if it's busy on VATSIM, the controls will just tell you to go to advisory. Really? I haven't seen that. I've never had a controller when it's really busy telling me to go to Unicom. Oh, if you're GA, yeah, that's a good point. I have had them, yeah. Well, they'll tell you to wait, to be honest. The only way you can be ATC on pilot is to actually be a licensed or retired ATC. Yep, that is true. That is true, but VATSIM does have some real ATC folks as well. All right, my friends, we are making our way down south into Zurich. Clear skies this morning over in Europe. A lovely EasyJet A320 Neo livery. Appreciate you all jumping in and hanging out tonight. I know it's late for some of you. Always appreciate the dialogue, man. It's fun. Friday should be fun as well, man. It'll be it's gonna be a booming F&O. So stop on by. Check out the Discord for those of you that are not on the Discord. A lot of the sceneries and the mods that we talk about or debut here on the stream, we've got links to that in the Discord. And Dave's awesome at just continuing to drop things in there and keeping people up to speed, man. It's awesome. That Gatwick scenery was dope. Definitely will be going back there soon. I haven't been to Gibraltar yet. I keep saying that. So maybe we'll do a Gatwick to Gibraltar one of these days. Can't wait for the end of the month. Is that the US update? The anticipated US update, or what's going on in the month? Backtrack on that. I've never heard them say go to advisory, but I've heard someone report at flight medical emergency or something. Yeah, that's true. VATSIM, a lot of them do not take emergencies, especially when it's busy like an event. They'll just tell you to log off. That is true. You can't simulate that most times. Yeah, handcrafted KATL and DFW for starters. Nice. I cannot wait for those. I got Atlanta from Micslmn already. But I can't wait for DFW. Mr. Woods jumping in the chat. What's going on, man? How you doing, bud? Given I live in Canada, I love flying to Dallas a lot, as it's often a hub if you're in the West and want to get to Florida. Gotcha. Where in Canada do you live, Dave? Are you on the East or West Coast? That sounds weird saying. When I say East or West Coast, I always like think about it from a U.S. perspective. But I guess Canada, you guys have an East and West Coast too. Where are you, on the East or West? Are you closer to Toronto or closer to Vancouver? British Columbia, gotcha. Gotcha, that's cool. It's probably freezing up there this time of year already, huh? I haven't been to Canada in years. I think since I was like a kid. Yeah, British Columbia, you're just north of... You're not just north, but yeah, you're north of me here in California. Yep. Yeah, direct north, yep. Speaking of, I gotta get back to Vancouver. I know we streamed that, what was that, last month? Man, time flies. But I know we streamed that and like had a CTD just above the runway, so I want to get back there. I think actually, if I looked at the calendar right, the last FNO in November is a LAX to Vancouver crossfire. That is going to be bananas. So we may save it for that. It's 10C. Ain't bad. It's not too bad. I'd like to check out Montreal or Quebec for sure. I've never been. I've only been to Toronto. I would love to check out Montreal, Quebec, even Vancouver. I had some plans this past summer to go to Vancouver, but with COVID, unfortunately, those fell through. But yeah, man, that would be fun. Right now we're just monitoring things. I'm gonna do some dancing here. Try to figure out our way down. It's an interesting approach, and the McDo is not cooperating, so we'll figure it out. Montreal Airport is nice. I prefer the old Mirabel though. I have Montreal in prepared, I believe, P3D. Would love to see that. Speaking of, yeah, what's going on with the Canadian sceneries? Besides Vancouver, we haven't seen anything else. Montreal, Toronto. Got to get those out there. And did Microsoft and Zibo do any handcrafted Canadian sceneries? Oh, I think there is a not Toronto Pearson, but there's a Toronto airport that they handcrafted, I believe. I'm waiting for the CRJ to come out to, really start getting into some Canadian flights. Or even the 737 doing some WestJet ops. But, yeah, we'll see. I think we're approaching the Alps now. Speed back a little bit here. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. Should be on the ground in about 16 minutes, my friends. Did you get MFS 2020 from Steam or Microsoft Store, Mike? I'm having problems on the MS buying add-ons. Yeah, I got it from the Xbox store, I think Game Pass. And I had that issue as well, because I don't launch it through Game Pass. I run it as admin mode separately outside of the sim. And when I tried to buy things in the store, it wasn't working. So I had to launch the sim through Xbox Game Pass in order to purchase things in the Microsoft Marketplace. So that might be your issue, Mr. Woods. Not sure where you bought it. There are free ones for Charlottesville, Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'll post them in the Disco. Cool, thanks, man. I definitely want to do some Canadian flying. I love how they keep churning out the sceneries left and right, but the payload aircrafts are nowhere to be found. It's funny. John was saying the same thing. He's like, I'm not buying all these sceneries yet. What's the point? There's no good aircrafts to fly them to, or to fly to them with. But I'm like, man, you're either going to buy it now or later, so all good. And this 320 is coming along just fine. It's getting there. Yeah, Mr. Woods, try that out, man. Launch it through there, and you should have a better luck at purchasing through the marketplace. I demoed it in Game Pass, then canceled Game Pass and bought it from the Microsoft Store. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It might not be Game Pass, but it's through the Microsoft Store at least. I launch it through the Xbox app whenever I need to purchase through the marketplace, is essentially what I'm saying. And I bought standard initially, and then I purchased a premium upgrade. How we doing? Looking good. Continue that rate down. Go to 12. Go to 7,000. We do have to watch out for terrain here, my friends. So I am keeping an eye on the charts here on my left side, making sure we're looking okay. For the charts, we want to be BLM between 200 and 150. So I'd say we're bang on. We need some experimental aircraft like Lank here, yeah? That'd be cool. I thought we had some. I thought some folks were working on fighter jets for this sim. Fighter jets aren't my thing, you know, and I have DCS, but never really got into it. But I thought there were some folks working on fighter jets for this sim, or close to releasing one. Piper Cherokee would be nice. For sure. Premium's on sale for $99 on Game Pass. Get out of here. Are you serious? Wow. That's awesome, I guess. India Foxtrot has released a CPL. Yes. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I heard about that. So here's this funky arrival. Trying to figure out what we're gonna do here. Step through this. I think after ZH677, I'm gonna go direct ZH704. Because that's just weird. We'll see. Alright, through 17,000, that is Basil Mole House down there. I think there is a scenery for that as well for this sim. I forgot who makes it, but the flight model was realistic like I explained, then the current aircraft would be good. Yeah, yep. It's the flight model. It's definitely wonky. I mean, you can get your sensitivity settings and all that stuff set close, but it just still feels off. Like I said, I fired up P3D. Even in P3D, the flight model's better. I fired up P3D last week just for the heck of it. I wanted to fly the 737. I haven't flown her in a while, and it was just night and day on the controls, man. It just felt so much more realistic. Gotta admit the GA aircraft fly like crap. They do. They do. They really do. I was in the TBM. When was that stream, guys? Sunday night? When we flew to, beautiful scenery, by the way. Beautiful approach. We did Aspen to Telluride in the TBM. Man, it was just off, man. Flying that approach felt like it was, just sloppy. It was just off. And then on landing, the rudder just kept pulling right. And I know it's not just me. I think Chewy was streaming the other night, and he was flying the TBM, and when he landed, it was the same thing. The aircraft just wants to keep pulling right. It's off. There's something really wrong with a lot of these GA aircrafts. Taking off of your nose is going up and down like a seesaw. Yeah. Dash 8's nice. Dash 8 is nice. It's a slow poke, but it'll get you there. Alright, our transition is 7,000, so nothing to do until then. What I will do now, obviously, though, is look at the LS's armed. It's a pretty long runway, 14. We'll go low on the auto brake. And again, we're approaching some mountainous terrain here, so we'll get the terrain on ND on. The passenger signs are on. Cabin crew understands that we are making our descent. Everything looks good. Start looking out the window here, see if we can see our airport. Gorgeous. You know how much money you had to pay in P3D to get Europe to look this good? It's crazy. And the next plane, you've got to have a ton of ortho scenery. It's not as slow as my beloved Beaver, that's true. Through 10,000. Alright. Put the landing lights on. Rest of the lights we don't need. Micslmn is that final fix, or one of the final fixes there. It is the final fix, and we want to be there at 4,000. Why am I getting stutters up here? Stuttering bad. We were a bit fast. We're going to manage mode here. Aircraft should take us down to that 250 knot restriction. I tried the Canadian mod. I think it's the CJ4 cockpit. I got it up and down with minor problems. Yeah, I was looking at that too. If it had the CJ4 working title cockpit and, you know, updates, I'd probably look at flying it. But it's still very default. You can't make P3D look this good no matter what you do. Good point. Now, having said that, I think the most realistic flying craft is a gimmick Icon A5 overspeed flying boat, and I think it's because the damn thing is so slow that I trick you into thinking it's flying decently. I love the Icon. I love doing water landings at that thing, man. It's fun. I'm gonna make Xplane look this good. You just watch. All right, we'll see, man. Let me know how you get on with that. It's not stuttering on your end. Yeah, it's cleared up now. It's I've had that too last Monday night when I was going into Fort Lauderdale. It's weird. See, nothing yet. So what I'm going to do, my friends, is I'll continue here. Continue eastbound, if you will. And we will vector ourselves around to ZH704, CI14, and then OSNEM. So it looks a lot clearer now. I can't even fathom, hope there's people who actually bought an Icon A5 in real life. There are a number of folks. In fact, there's been some controversial things about it too. I think they're like behind on deliveries. I think there was a famous baseball player, Major League Baseball player, I forgot his name, that passed away. A flying one. Paying $250K to do no faster than a car. Yeah, I think it's the flexibility though, man. You can hook that thing up. Is it just me? Yeah, I'm not stuttering on you guys' end? Definitely stuttering over here. You can hook that thing up to a tow hitch, man. You could park it in your garage. Land on water. It's the flexibility that you're paying for. 77K will get you a Lancer Legacy kit. That's a good point. Alright, we'll continue on this track for now. In fact, I will engage heading mode. We're going to cut out all that fancy... So there's Zurich right in front of us. Maybe that's what's hitting our frames. The airport trying to load in here. FS Dream Team, I wouldn't be surprised, but that's Zurich dead ahead. What we're going to do is essentially come out and come back around over the airport. Could have essentially went that way, but we'll try to follow the approach, at least remotely correct. But again, we are limited here by the McDo. We'll stay at 7,000 in case there was traffic that puts us well above where we need to be, crossing over the airport like this. Nolens to Atlanta in 1.5 hours, single engine piston. I'd take that. Yeah, this airport's definitely causing some stutters. Alright, let's make a left turn here and get down to 5,000, open descent. I think approach phase just activated. It sure did. And we're through 7,000, that's our transition. We will get the barrel refs reset. 1024. Continue that left turn. And we'll let the aircraft lead off some speed. Just checking on you, bud. Have a good stream. Johnny, Stalker in the chat. What's going on, man? Appreciate it, bud. I know it's late for you over there. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm gonna manage our speed here myself. Let's get down to about 220. What's the Mooney Coronado ported into MFS 2020? You're saying it was? Or it's about to be, or what? So there's our runway right there, back there. We can even go visual if we wanted to. It's a nice day out. That's probably what we'll do, actually. So let's bring this speed back. Go 190. That was my favorite G in MFS 2020 until Femming started crashing to desktop in the latest update. Well, that's not good. Spoilers deployed. Look at that sunset, man. Or sunrise. Reflecting off that wing. Awesome. Below the glide slope, but that's quite okay. I think we're going to do a visual. Trying to get the aircraft to slow down. Don't know what's going on. I asked for 190. Continue that left-hand turn. 2500 checked. There we go. Flaps 1 speed checks. Got a lot of money in Xplane, ain't giving it up yet. That's how I feel about P3D, man. That's why I still got P3D installed. Lots of money and time getting things to work in that sim over the years. Not giving up on it quite just yet. Man, look at the scenery out here, guys. This is default. Out of the box Flight Sim 2020. Outstanding. This was a wide approach, but better safe than sorry. See if we can clean up the box. Like, this needs work too, man. It shouldn't allow you to go direct to waypoints that you've passed hundreds of miles ago. It's crazy. Again, a limitation of the sim. I'm sure the fly-by-wire guys are working on that. Direct OSNEM. And like all this other stuff should disappear. Theoretically. But it does not. Alright, that at least gives us a reference. That's gorgeous. Look at that frame rate. Most likely a limitation of the SDK at present. It is. Which is why it's interesting that they are tackling an A380 already. I can't wait to see that. I did watch the Q&A session. What was that? Sunday morning, I think. Lots of good things planned. Make sure there's nobody on VATSIM. Nah, we're good. I'll just call final once we're on final. Yeah, my frames are taking a hit up here for sure. It definitely feels a lot more laggy. I have to erase my content and scenery to get P3D to work when I shut my new computer down. Any solutions? Erase content and scenery? That shouldn't be. Did you do an update recently to P3D? Same with 747. Yeah, it is a shame. Oh, there's our runway. Alright, flaps 2 coming out. I would delete content and scenery and try again. So there's our runway. This is gonna get hairy, guys. Let me go to stereo cockpit. I will talk to you guys once we're on the ground. I'll jump back in the chat. On my aircraft. Gear down. Flaps 3. Zurich traffic, EasyJet Airbus A320 Neo. We are turning final runway 14 Zurich traffic. Sounds good. Thank you. We're on roughly 5-mile final here for runway 14. See that, my friends? That is why you always make your radio calls. Never know. I wasn't expecting anyone this late to be on in Europe. And there you go. That's why it's always important. Alright, I think we should be able to save this approach. It says we're high, but we'll get back on profile any minute now. Alright, gears down, 3 greens, flaps full, auto brake low, spoilers are armed. Sorry, that's my joystick. Had to fix that. I do have one coming in the mail. We did order the Thrustmaster, so that should be coming soon. But you see, if I didn't correct that, that would have been us running off the runway there. Gear down, 3 greens, flaps full, cabin crew is advised, lights as required. 500. Spoilers are armed, auto brake low.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue. right.
10, 5.
Sports reverse green decel. Rolling out of reverse. Zurich traffic, Airbus A320 is clear runway 14, taxi to parking. Zurich traffic. The stick of yours seemed to have a lot of play in it. Yeah, I know. It's not the stick. The stick itself is fine. All of the axes is fine, but it's losing. I'm gonna disconnect it and show you guys here in a second. What it is, it's losing connection. Oh, there's that aircraft landing. It's losing connection on the bottom pieces there. All right, APU coming on, strobe off. Runway turn-offs off, landing lights off, and nose light to taxi. I'm not sure where. Cool, he just vacated. I'm not sure where EasyJet parks at Zurich, so we're just gonna find a stand and go to. But yeah, it's not a lot of play, Dave. It's the Logitech X56. It's got different springs that you can swap in and out, and it's quite fine. It's quite fine. It's just the connectors that for some reason got damaged. So I did order the Thrustmaster Warthog. That should be coming soon. I was hoping it would get here by Friday for our Friday night ops stream, but it doesn't look like that. Probably won't get here until Saturday or Sunday, but we should have it shortly. And then we'll pop out and do a quick overview of the airport, because I think it's really well done. FS Dream Team does some really good airports. Mine died as well. Thrustmaster. Your Thrustmaster died? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's the one I just ordered. 1 hour and 22 minutes on the flight time. We'll get that cleaned up. See if we can park here. Get the predictive wind shear. That can go to TA. Flight director's coming off. VORs. So yeah, considering the joystick was crapping out on me there, I think that was a relatively decent landing. So. Stop right there. Parking brakes are set. APU coming alive shortly. We'll give it a second. They didn't do such a great job on Vancouver. Touche. Touche, my friend. Although I still don't think Vancouver was their fault. Why we had a CTD just before touching down. I think that was based on the forums, that was an FS 2020 thing. APU is available. We can kill number 1 and number 2. I love what they've done to the shutdown sounds. Listen to that. That is awesome. And with the butt kicker, you can like feel the chair vibrating. That's so awesome. They did a really good job with the sounds. Fuel pumps coming off. Seatbelt signs off. Awesome. Let's see if we can get some jetways connected. Does that work? Jetway. Yes, it does. Baggage. Baggage. Catering. So we got our ground services. Let me disconnect this and show you guys. So here's our issue. The contact points here. And in fact, it feels very oily. I'm not sure what that's about, but this is what's jacked up. I've pulled this thing completely apart to try to figure out if there was something in it broken, but that's not it. The axes themselves are quite fine. It's losing connection to the base no matter how tight I make it. So anyway, we should have the my new joystick here shortly. What was I going to show? Yeah, the airport. So this is Zurich by FS Dream Team. If you have their product in P3D, you're probably familiar with it, but this is hands down. Obviously, FS 2020 makes everything look good, but hands down, I think one of the best sceneries in this sim so far. They've even done the interior. And by the way, guys, this was $9. $9. It kind of puts Imagine Sims Atlanta to shame. Imagine Sims Atlanta is nowhere as detailed, and they charged, I think, north of $21 for it. Kind of sucks, especially with the updates to the world, the US world updates coming with Microsoft and Zibo shortly. And Atlanta is expected to be in that update, so that's cool. But yeah, this is $9 for this scenery. Absolutely stunning. Every now and again I do have folks, you know, that jump in on stream and ask me to fly Europe, so I like to switch it up. So it's good to have a scenery, especially at $9. $26 in Canada for KATL. Yeah, that's highway robbery. Those are P3D prices. You've got automated AI jetways. You can see the jetways connecting to the AI there. That is highway robbery. I don't think any developer should be charging those kind of prices still for scenery in this sim. Those are P3D prices. But yeah, I'm impressed. I am impressed with FS Dream Team. So this is the same price as YVR. Why Vancouver was a little bit more. Vancouver was, I think, $12. $13. I can't for the life of me figure out why FS Dream Team priced is so low. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, I love it. But yeah, it was even cheaper than Vancouver was. And Vancouver, actually, I got a discount for, because if you owned it in P3D, they were giving you a discount. So yeah, man, this is FS Dream Team's Zurich. Really, really well done. Love it. So that's it, my friends. I think we're gonna call it a wrap here. I know it's going on, what is that, 8:15 here on the West Coast. I know it's pretty late where you all are. I do appreciate you all tuning in tonight, though, man. It was fun. I loved engaging in the chat there. Definitely, I had a lot of fun talking to you guys. We shall be back on Friday with another VATSIM FNO. We will do Like I said, New Orleans. It is Freeware New Orleans. And we'll go up to Dulles. Dulles is the featured airport Friday night for the VATSIM FNO. So you guys want to join in on the fun, do a group flight during the VATSIM FNO, hit me up, join the Discord. We'll let you know the details, what time we're flying, the route, and all that good stuff. But until then, my friends, you guys take care of yourselves. We'll see you Friday night. Peace.